ANS News Video. The March edition of ANS News Video will showcase some of the challenges that the Salesian world is facing in order to bring hope amidst the difficult situation in Ukraine. It will also give you a glimpse of the two visits that the Rector Major made to African soil, together with the other events, projects and initiatives carried out in the name of Don Bosco throughout the world. Africa, Madagascar region. The Rector Major's visit to Cameroon. The Rector Major's animation visit to Cameroon took place between the 14th and 24th March. The pandemic had forced Father Angel Fernandez Artime to be away from Africa for a long period, and indeed the visit to Cameroon was the first to the continent in almost 3 years. Welcomed with great celebration, the Rector Major met communities in Yaoundé and Yabolova. These were Salesian presences rich in vitality that since 1979 have been involved in contributing to the social welfare and pastoral fabric of the country. Despite his tight schedule of appointments, the 10th successor of Don Bosco was able to participate actively in all the important moments of festivity and prayer with Cameroon's Salesian family, without concealing, however, his deep suffering and pain over the war in Ukraine. Spiritual retreat for Provincial Councils of Africa, Madagascar region. The Rector Major led the retreat for provincials and provincial councils of the Africa, Madagascar region from 17th to 23rd March at the National Episcopal Conference Center at Yaoundé, Cameroon. 96 representatives from 14 provinces and vice provinces and from other regional Salesian services also took part in the retreat. These days, marked by prayer and fellowship, were an opportunity for the African Salesian community to reflect on its mission. Each day opened with the morning sessions, during which the Rector Major reflected together on the themes and directives of the General Chapter, important topics for development of pastoral activity in the region, offering practical directives for organizing provincial teams and stressing the twofold task of guidance and animation. It was a moment of great renewal, reflection and synergy for the Africa-Madagascar region. The Rector Major's visit to Equatorial Guinea. The Rector Major's visit to the Salesian communities in Equatorial Guinea took place from the 25th to the 30th of March. After a resounding welcome to Ebibain, where he was also able to visit the bishop's offices and pray with the diocesan curia, Father Angel Fernandez Artime, then headed for Mikomeseng, where he was welcomed by the city authorities and the president of the parish pastoral council. On the following day, the Rector Major continued to Bata, where he met Bishop Juan Matogo Wiana. He then went to Malabo Island, the country's capital, where he was welcomed by the local Salesian community and met with youngsters from the Salesian youth movement. The Rector Major's visit to Equatorial Guinea was a gracious moment to recharge in the Salesian family and in the young people the spirit of the Salesian mission. The new ANN province. The Africa-Madagascar region can add another new province to the list, the Blessed Artime Zati province of Africa, Nigeria, Niger. The inauguration ceremony, which took place on Sunday, the 27th of March, saw the involvement of Bishop Bulus Dawa Yohanna, Bishop of Kontogra, Father Alphonse Owudu, Regional Councillor for Africa Madagascar, and Father Michael Karikunel, Superior of the Africa West English-speaking province. The ceremony culminated with the installation of the first Superior, Father Jorge Cristofulli, and the 8 council members who will be the point of reference for the 124 confreres and 9 houses that make up the new province. It embraces the territories of Niger and Nigeria. After Mass, the Bishop Provincial and Vice Provincial unfurled the flags of Nigeria, Niger, and the Vatican, and then unveiled the plaque and logo of the province. The day continued with celebrations led by the young people, wishing the new province and the region a fruitful journey into the future. America South Cone Region. 31st Provincial Chapter for the Salesians in Sao Paulo. The 31st Provincial Chapter of Mary Help of Christians Province, Sao Paulo, Brazil, was held from the 7th to the 10th of March. The chapter, led by the moderator Father Paulo Profilo, saw also the participation of Father Gabriel Romero, Counselor for the America South Cone region. Around 70 people between Salesian priests and religious, lay people and coordinators of provincial leadership teams, as well as young leaders, participated in the chapter. The aim was to reflect on renewal of the mission, something to be done with boldness, prophecy, and fidelity, the 3 words that define the theme of the provincial chapter. The chapter members reflected on the 6-year action program put forward by the Rector Major, Father Angel Fernandez Artime, and they also looked into the revision of the overall province plan and the provincial directory. Brazil. Santa Rosa's educational proposal expands. The Salesian Santa Rosa School, Niterói, boasts of a long and important history. Founded in 1883, the school was the first Salesian work in Brazil, and given its century and a half of existence, it is able to list some outstanding personages of Brazilian culture among its past pupils. Today, it further expands its educational offering by opening a new facility for infant education, thus completing its plan to offer basic education at every level. The new facility welcomes the youngest children to classrooms specifically designed to ensure the greatest possible comfort, as well as being set up to ensure that students have all the resources they need for healthy and enjoyable growth. East Asia, Oceania region. Papua New Guinea. Students celebrate St. Joseph. On 18th March, Don Bosco Technical School, Gabutu, Port Moresby, organized a solemn Mass for the Feast of St. Joseph. The main celebrant for the Eucharist was the Apostolic Nuncio for Papua New Guinea, Archbishop Fermil Emilio Sosa Rodriguez. With him was his secretary, the rector, Father Pedro Sachitula, and the school's spiritual director, Father Ambrose Pereira. Making the beautiful liturgy even more precious were the songs of the more than 1,000 students in the school's choir, the DBTS Band Club, outlining the figure of Saint Joseph. The nuncio emphasized his great dedication to practical work, linking this to the studies the students were doing at their Salesian school. In fact, Don Bosco Gabutu is the first technical high school in Papua New Guinea and known for its excellence in the educational sector today. Official opening of the diocesan inquiry regarding the servant of God Akash Bashir. On the 15th of March 2022, the Christian community in Pakistan came together for an historic event. The official opening of the diocesan inquiry into the cause for beatification and canonization of the servant of God Akash Bashir, a past pupil of Don Bosco. He is the first Pakistani citizen to be presented for the process of beatification and canonization. The Eucharistic celebration took place at the Sacred Heart Cathedral in Lahore in the presence of the Apostolic Nuncio for Pakistan, His Excellency Archbishop Christophe El Kassis, all members of Bishops' Conference of Pakistan, namely Archbishop of Lahore, Archbishop of Islamabad, Archbishop of Karachi, Bishop of Hyderabad, Bishop of Fasilabad, and Bishop of Apostolic Vicariate of Quetta. The members of the tribunal for the cause of beatification and canonization of Akash Bashir were also present. The nuncio thanked the Bashir family for the gift of their son Akash and the Salesian congregation for having made the beatification process possible. The response of the Pakistani population was moving. They took part in this historic spiritual event with great joy. Timor-Leste, the Salesian community's environmental projects. In order to carry forward the goals of Pope Francis' Laudato Si in fostering an integral ecology, the Don Bosco Green Alliance continues to be involved in developing environment projects throughout the world. Various initiatives of this kind have been implemented by many of the communities in the East Timor Vice Province, such as Kwelikai, which has become self-sufficient in rice production, or like the post-novitiate at Don Bosco, Comoro, that has started up a self-farming business in the small community garden, or again like the Tibet Center community in Comoro, which is training students in waste separation and will soon have a machine for the recycling of plastics. The Don Bosco Green Alliance projects, coordinated by the tireless efforts of Father Jolino Vieira, has enthused the involvement of hundreds of young people, motivating them to care for Mother Earth with great care and dedication. South Asia region. Don Bosco Matunga, the best school in India. Don Bosco High School Matunga has received recognition as the best school in India, a reason for joy for the school, which celebrates this year 80 years of its inception. The renowned All India Education Today Survey 2021-22 placed the school at the top in India in the Boys' Day School category and was ranked first in Mumbai, first in Maharashtra state, and first in India. The school was also voted number 1 in the Parents' Choice Awards category and also won the prestigious Jury Award for Mental and Emotional Well-being Support. The award ceremony took place at Chancery Pavilion, Bangalore on the 11th and 12th of March 2022. The school has a variety of programs with lots of facilities for sports and cultural activities. The list of awards for excellence in sports is impressive, and the number of innovative teaching programs makes it unique and meaningful. Diaconate ordinations at Christ Jyoti College, Bangalore. 19th March was a special day for Christ Jyoti College as it had the ordination of 19 new deacons, 14 of whom were Salesians. The Mass was presided over by the Archbishop of Bangalore, Archbishop Peter Machado, and more than 85 priests concelebrated in the Mass. Christ Jyoti College is one of the largest theological colleges in India. Founded in 1967, it currently has 14 professors and 94 students, 85 of whom come from various provinces in India and 9 from other religious congregations. A number of courses are offered in various disciplines, and Christ Jyoti Publications has a number of important publications to her merit. The Reach Out programs offered to the neighborhood and the apostolate of the brothers makes the contribution of the Christ Jyoti College very relevant and meaningful. Tiruchi, Women's Day at Don Bosco Youth Village. On the occasion of International Women's Day, members of the Don Bosco Self-Help Group celebrated Women's Day at the Don Bosco Youth Village, Kiranur and Tiruchi. The celebration saw many activities organized by almost 1,000 women of all ages who engaged in typical dances and other cultural events to express their desire to have fun and see their value recognized. Women's Day is just one of the many projects organized by the members of the Self-Help Group, which is responsible for implementing various activities aimed at encouraging members to develop entrepreneurial opportunities and train in professional and educational fields. INP Provincial Chapter. The 6th Provincial Chapter of the St. Joseph Vaz Province, Panjim, was held at Mount Don Bosco in the north of Goa from the 8th to the 12th of March. The theme of the chapter, Go and Do Likewise, Identity, Shared Mission, Future, was crystallized in the reflections and recommendations provided by the 28th General Chapter. The chapter was moderated by Father Arvind Severis. 38 chapter members participated and they were grouped into 5 study commissions on different topics. Father Biju Michael, Regional Councillor for the South Asia region, also took part in the chapter and delivered his keynote address. It was truly a fraternal experience of deep study, prayer, frank and courageous sharing, and discussions which helped in formulating concrete lines of action for the next 6 years. Europe's Central North region. Ukraine's Salesians stand with their people. The Salesians have been in Ukraine since the early 1990s, and today their communities belong to 2 different administrations. 4 houses, Odessa, Permizhlani, Bibrka, and Korostyshiv, which also has an Italian school at Zhytomyr, that are part of Krakow province. Another 4, Kiev, Lyupoli, Novosilka, and Dnipro, that make up the Ukraine Vice province. All these centers, since the outbreak of the war, have become bastions of care and concern for others in the midst of the horror of war. Youth centers have become first aid centers for people affected. Salesian houses, auditories and schools have opened their doors to displaced people, ensuring that those in need have food and medicines. Temporary accommodation is provided in cellars, and they offer psychological, moral, and spiritual assistance to those who have been traumatized by war. Fellowship and solidarity have been shown to people in need in the country. Salesian houses in the western region have been receiving help from abroad, and after keeping what is needed for the evacuees they care for, the convoys are sent on to the houses further east. From the Dnipro operations, at least 3 times a week, humanitarian aid is brought to the areas closest to the Russian border, and on the return trip, families with children who wish to leave that area and begin the journey west are picked up, not before giving them a blessing for the journey. The Salesians are showing that they are responding to Don Bosco's mission in every circumstance, establishing oases of peace where there seems to be only deserts of terror. The Salesian World United for Ukraine. International Salesian solidarity has taken 1,000 phases in response to the humanitarian crisis caused by the war in Ukraine, and all the Salesian provinces closest to the region are involved. Salesian Poland alone has made available over 1,100 beds for refugees, and several hundred are available in other neighboring countries such as Slovakia, Moldavia, the Czech Republic, and Hungary. The Salesian commitment, as Don Bosco taught, is holistic. It is not just to offer emergency aid such as food, medicine, or clothing. Refugees receive attention, psychological and spiritual support, legal assistance, and help with paperwork, language courses to help with integration into society, specific programs to help children integrate in auditories and schools, and guidance to adults who intend to stay abroad and who are therefore looking for work. And in turn, countries close to Ukraine are being supported by the rest of the Salesian world. Collections of materials and funds, awareness and prayer initiatives, and solidarity campaigns have been activated all around the globe, and donations in money or goods have arrived from everywhere, from Hong Kong to Argentina, from South Africa to Ireland, from African provinces to Salesian presences all over Europe. This is an operation encouraged directly by the Rector Major, and it requires a high-level coordination between provinces and Salesian NGOs and many different Salesian family groups from all over the world. All are committed to ensure that the relief machine works as effectively and efficiently as possible. Provincial chapter of the Belgium North and Holland Salesians. The 21st provincial chapter of the Salesian province of Belgium North and Holland was held from the 27th February to 3rd March in the splendid setting of Drongen Abbey, and 30 Salesians participated in it. The chapter was declared opened by Father Dieter Verpost, the moderator, followed by a report on the province by Father Wilfried de Wambeck, the provincial. Over the days that followed, chapter members worked on 4 main themes. In a congregation where Da Mihi Animas Cetra Tolle is urgent, absolute priority for the poorest, most abandoned and defenseless, together with Don Bosco's workers in mission and formation, guiding young people on their way to a sustainable future. On the last day, all the proposals of the chapter members were grouped together and voted on. Malta, reminiscing Don Bosco at the exhibition. The Malta College of Arts, Science and Technology, together with the college's Salesian chaplaincy team, organized an exhibition on apprenticeship on the 23rd March to commemorate the 170th anniversary of the first apprenticeship contract signed by Don Bosco, enhancing both the labor and anthropological aspects of young people, guaranteeing them access to labor market under fair conditions. The guest of honor for this occasion was Father Ivo Coelho, SDB, Counselor for Formation, who was visiting the Salesian communities at Malta. This initiative also highlights importance of collaboration between state bodies and Salesian presences, highlighting the need to undertake the ethical reflections on the world of work now more than ever. Inter-America region. Young volunteers in mission for the needy. Young volunteers from the United States, inspired by the Salesian missionary spirit, have been organizing monthly homeless outreach programs to offer support to the homeless in an atmosphere of sharing and selfless giving. These initiatives, aimed at offering material and psychological support to those in difficulty, are coordinated by Father Louis Chacon, Provincial Coordinator for Volunteers. This volunteer group has been growing constantly, and for the month of March, more than 30 young people from 7 different Salesian institutions joined together to carry food, clothes and toiletries to the less fortunate at the Skid Row, Los Angeles. Bolivia. Young people competing for Best Strenna Hymn. This awards event and launching of the hymn, inspired by the message of the Rector Major's Strenna for 2022, Do All Through Love, Nothing Through Constraint, was held on the 26th March at the Don Bosco Theatre, Santa Cruz. The activity was organized by the Salesian Youth Ministry delegation from Don Bosco Central School, together with Social Communication and the Salesian Youth Movement in Santa Cruz. The winning song was by Guido Diaz and Andres Flores in Mauxat, who also presented the official dance together with other animators.
Hagan todo por amor, hay que abrir el corazón, por la fuerza nada viene, que el amor de Dios nos llene.
Mediterranean region. Egypt, provincial chapter of the Salesians in the Middle East. The provincial chapter of Jesus the Adolescent province of the Middle East took place from the 26th of March till the 6th of April. 25 Salesians, 21 in presence and 4 in online mode, from Egypt, Lebanon, the Holy Land and Syria gathered at Beit el-Wadi in the Natron Valley to take stock of the status of the province, evaluate its goals and update its planning. The chapter was declared open by the provincial Father Alejandro Jose Leon Mendoza, and it was moderated by Father Emmanuel Vezzoli. The first part of the chapter was dedicated to the discussion on the redesigning of the MOR province and revising of the articles of the province directory. The second part was dedicated to the evaluation of the realization of the themes of the general chapter. The presence of 15 lay members from the 1st till the 4th of April enriched the discussions. Spain. Salesian Cooperators Assembly discovering its roots. Embracing Our Roots was the evocative theme for the Salesian Cooperators Assembly for Spain's Mary Help of Christians province. The event was held in Pilas, Seville, on the 26th and 27th of March. More than 200 Salesian cooperators gathered to cultivate the spirit of Don Bosco and to evaluate the direction their journey has taken, amidst reflections on their Christian and Salesian roots and on the examples left by men and women like Mother Mazzarello. The days were a source of inspiration and formation to all participants. They expressed their desire and determination to imbibe the Salesian heritage in order to continue to be what Don Bosco asks of them every day, namely to be good Christians and upright citizens. "35th Don Bosco Award." This year, the Salesian work in Zaragoza held its traditional Don Bosco National Award program on the 10th of March. The successful projects of this 35th edition were announced, and the event was also attended by the Minister of Education, Culture and Sports in the Aragon government, Mr. Felipe Facci. This year, 51 projects were submitted for the national competition, and so far more than 1,000 projects have been submitted in these 35 years. The event consisted in the award ceremony, nominating the winners, and it concluded with the official opening of the 36th year of this National Don Bosco Award. The Don Bosco National Award is an event that encourages the innovative skills of young people and increases their awareness of the importance of research and the possibilities they have to improve the society. Thanks for staying with us for this March edition of ANS News Video. We eagerly look forward to meeting you for the next edition with more news and interesting stories from around the Salesian world. Thank you.